I'm feeling the inspiration to cringe. Oh, there it is. I found it. That's a terrible thumbnail. Is the implication that he's hitting him?
What we do here is go back.
I'm Hassan Piker, and this is the Hassan broadcast coming to you live.
Why am I watching Hassan Piker's video right now? This is bizarre. We're a minute 59 seconds in. It's just Hassan Piker. Obviously, this is going to be just a Hassan dick riding extravaganza for an hour if this is how we're starting.
I've been lying about everything, including my glasses. They're fake. He was right about that. That's not even in the content nuke, and he was right about that too. How
Look,
did
I'm
he
going to
know
address
everything?
stuff that's not real.
How? Wake up, Ethan. Wake up, Ethan. Ethan, wake up.
Wakey, wakey, Ethan. Wake up, Ethan. Wake up. Time to be awake, Ethan.
Wake up, Ethan.
This is no longer a dream. This is a nightmare. Wake up.
Ethan, the dumb bitch is telling you to wake up.
Wake up, Ethan. Wake up. Wake up, Ethan.
Ethan, wake up.
What the fuck? What's up with this? How insensitive of iDubbbz to fucking dig up the dead corpse of Content Cop and sully the good name that he gave it back when he was mentally sound circa 2016. Imagine wanting to do this and just going on a dick riding spree. Like, oh wow, what a hot take. Let's take down Ethan. The moment Ethan actually becomes semi-conscious again, because he had a span there where he was placating a certain demographic that cannot be satisfied no matter how much blood they draw. And now he's come to his senses again. He's like, actually, this is kind of bullshit. Hate mob shit kind of sucks. Not cool. Not great. They're death threatening my family. Not great. By the way, not a hot take. Dude, Ethan's cock's gonna be fucking... Dude, the amount of nuts he's gonna bust with all this dick riding, it's gonna be crazy.
I didn't plan on making a content cop on H3. It sounds very stupid even saying that. If I would imagine this in 2016, I would have been like, oh yeah, if I ever do that, it's gotta be because I lose the plot. Well, it turns out it's not me losing.
We almost had a self-reflective thought there. No, you had it right, iDubbbz. If this happens, it's because you lost the plot. 2016 you was a little more in touch.
In the plot, it's Ethan. He's the one who fucking attacked first.
My good fucking friends who I stood by after all these fucking years can't find a spine to speak up.
So go fuck yourself.
I agree.
That's what this was about, because he said that his friends won't stick up for him. I agree. They act fucking cool. iDubbbz is totally fine collabing with Ethan when it's advantageous back in the day and coming on his podcast and clout chasing and all that kind of shit. And then when it comes to time to say, hey, stop death threatening Ethan and saying his wife's a baby killer, and maybe Hassan fuck off, crickets, right? And then Ethan says, hey, that's fake as fuck, right? And that offends iDubbbz? Look, and they didn't even call him out personally in that clip. I don't know if they ever have. I don't fucking watch the H3 podcast religiously or ever. It's crazy that he's so thin-skinned. As we know, iDubbbz is incredibly thin-skinned, and he has to retort anytime anyone invokes his name.
They actually had to reckon with a very serious topic. I would say that Hassan was very well equipped to talk about that topic.
Palestinian people living in the West Bank are subject to these horrific conditions, horrific living.
Well, the dance he invented was so kick-ass.
What is that even supposed to be saying there? Those clips are the coldest takes. You're saying the argument is that Hassan is more qualified to talk about this than Ethan, even though Ethan has visited Israel multiple times and his wife is from Israel, served in the Israeli military. What, Hassan reads headlines and blog posts and then just regurgitates it to his audience on Twitch? That makes him more equipped? I don't understand.
What I want to do is show you guys how I see Israel, because you don't see that. When you listen to Hassan and you hear all these fucking mega lefties talking about it like it's some super racist, crazy, like Jim Crow style of society. Like, I can't wait to show you guys.
What? Like, dude... I can't. This is going to be so difficult to watch. Fucking an hour of this. I'm only 7 minutes in. Just the lack of moderation, the lack of gray area. Like, yeah, we've been able to see some of the same stuff even in the United States. That doesn't mean the entire country and all of its inhabitants are that. You know, what the extreme sides are is not the totality of the country and all of its population. And you're making the same argument by cherry picking these clips and headlines about a different country, Israel, which I'm not pro-Israel and I'm not pro-Palestine. I'm not in either of those countries. I know my taxpayer money goes to Israel, but I don't particularly have any tie to either region. Like I have no dog in that race. Like I empathize with innocent people dying no matter what, which there are many on both sides where that is happening. So it's a wash.
Just like I'm not going to throw Ethan Klein away because he's having a parasocial weird crash out.
That's what you're doing here, isn't it?
I'm a piece of shit. I'm spineless. I'm cowardly.
Because they have mobilized such an insane harassment group. It's not bad enough that I have this group of people harassing me and everyone in my life. It's that people outside of this group, journalists, creators, are actively participating in this gaslighting to make it seem like I'm fucking crazy.
I mean, I don't know what he's getting at here. Like, yeah, people are gaslighting you.
I've probably done and stood by iDubbbz and Anissa more than anybody. I've stood by them.
And what is it with the halo effect? Like, what are you saying? If they take the high road, they're just moral grandstanding, and then when other people go at them, that's just par for the course. I don't get it.
Yeah, friends like these.
Oh, yeah. And our other good friends.
Yeah.
Anissa and Ian. Thanks, Anissa, for standing up for your girl. I actually stood up for you so many times, because, like, why would I not? It was crazy.
Yeah, why would you not? I mean, if that's truly what you believed and you weren't just going to use it later.
Of course I was going to stand by you. That's insane. It's absolutely insane and disgusting. But now you choose to hang out with people that would have a problem with you if you defended me.
That's very legitimate. That's a very legitimate criticism. When you hang out with ops, like that is taking a stance when you're choosing to hang out with ops.
I just don't see how you can be my friend and also be friends with someone like that.
Well, you can't. So I already forgot about you.
Little catty there, Elo. A little catty.
You're either my best friend who's deep-throating me to the base of my cock, or you are Satan. I would have been perfectly fine with you not blasting me and my wife on your podcast twice. I would be fine with you not brigading my comment section on my podcast that gets 3,000 views a week because I prefer to not do harassment campaigns and instead talk about Vampire's Kiss.
I prefer to not do harassment campaigns, but that is why I'm doing a content cop, and that is why I also made a career after doing content cop, which is harassing people and doing harassment campaigns, essentially, even though I did not say to ever harass anybody, but you know that is what people will do. Okay. Sounds good.
Actually, I think Ethan describes them as edgy moments or jokes.
You might remember him from such classics as
America deserved 9/11, dude. Fuck it. I'm saying it.
Now, to be clear, I knew about all these edgy and controversial jokes at the time we made the show together, because who am I to judge?
No, Ethan, those aren't jokes, right? When someone makes a controversial statement like that, that's not them trying to be funny. I can understand why you would conflate the two. That is someone who is extremely frustrated and passionate about a particular topic.
So he's like this is weird to be like, dude, he said Americans deserve 9/11 because he was passionate. What? Huh? Doesn't Hassan live in America? I just don't understand not standing by your country in a situation like that. If you love being in the Middle East, why are you living in America, profiting off of all of the luxuries that brings and safety and security that brings, if you hate America, right?
When Psychology in Seattle was watching these video clips of Ethan, he said that it looks like Ethan could just use a hug. Now, of course, it kind of pisses me off to hear that shit, because I'm like, what are we doing? What are we saying? He needs a hug? No, he doesn't need a hug. He needs a good fucking ass whooping is what he needs.
And if there's anyone who's an expert in getting their ass whooped, it's iDubbbz, so.
To me, in bringing back Content Cop, is to be fair. I think that was...
I think this is probably the least fair content cop he's ever made, which is what is so funny. There's no nuance here at all. I know it's content cop H3, not H3 and Hassan, but very long runtime for not really the most well thought out arguments in the whole thing. I mean, just the fall off has to be studied. He is a fair weather friend in this situation to H3, who I believe he's known longer than any of the other people in question and has worked with more than any other people in question. And this is a bit of the pot calling the kettle black. iDubbbz does not have a ton of self-awareness as of late. Despite the litany of criticisms being thrown his way, he has seemingly just doubled down on how he views the world and how he's choosing to move in it. What is anyone supposed to do with any of this? Do you think that H3 is going to see this and change his mind? No. And because you didn't address, in a cowardly manner, might I say, he didn't address the fact that Hassan Piker, his fans in his circle, his clique, that group of people, and the circle he runs in of the, with those people, they've been death threatening. They've been, and his fans have been levying accusations, calling CPS on his children, and doing all these different things. And people in that clique, Hassan himself saying, the United States deserved 9/11, and his top moderator, Frogan, saying that United States military members deserve PTSD. They all deserve PTSD. All these types of things. That shit they've said, but they were just impassioned.
Oh, another thing I need to mention. There was a tier list. It was called the Who Can Say Habibi tier list.
Notice how they dropped the premise almost immediately that it's about who can say Habibi. And then it's like, Hassan, okay, actually, he's Arab. We fucking love him. He's dope. He's Arab.
Habibi is an Arabic word.
Ethan making fun of their tier list. That's, dude, come on. Jeez, guys.
Now let's talk about the button. Ethan got this button, or kill switch. He uses the button for everything. If his jokes don't land, he's hitting the button.
It was being presented as if the Jordan crying thing.
I hit the button.
Why?
I don't think I needed to, but you guys were giving me crickets, so I panicked.
Oh, Ethan uses a kill switch on his live stream. You mean like what every fucking live production's been doing in TV film production for the last since broadcasting existed? What the fuck? Like what fucking arguments are we using here? What are we saying when the real problem is that you have people who are extremists, who are online keyboard warriors, who are fucking calling CPS on someone, trying to ruin their life, trying to endanger their children and traumatize their children, and saying they're baby killers and that United States military members deserve PTSD and that we deserve 9/11. That's that group. What has Ethan said? He made fun of the tier list. He said Hassan likes terrorists because Hassan plays fucking Hamas fucking propaganda edit montages on his stream. What the fuck else is that? We deserve 9/11. He's playing a Hamas fucking montage. What else is that? If you think that's cool, you are fucking delusional. And you think that this Palestine-Israel debate is grounds to like remove yourself from reality. Oh, which side are you on? It's Marvel Avengers, it's Civil War, it's fucking, are you on Tony Stark's side or Captain America's side? Who are we repping? I understand some of these people are from some of these countries, or they have family from some of these countries, or whatever the fuck, or their religion is from or originating in these, whatever. The only thing that's affecting you, as most of my audience is from the United States and Canada and the UK, the only thing that's affecting us is your taxpayer money, if you're in America, is going to support Israel, which is cringe. I'm not saying it isn't, because the war that's going on over there should not be something that we're paying for and that we're involved in at all. And your attention being on those things is taking you away from keeping your attention on what is actually important, which is our own countries. Our own shit's fucked up. Okay. We need to work on that. All right. We need to get our bread up, stay safe, keep our families safe. We gotta lock in, dude. You know what I mean? Like, let them do their thing over there. They'll figure it out, hopefully. You and me, not our problem. They're the politicians' problem. It's the money launder, whatever corporations are involved and all that, the military industrial complex. It's all their problem, not our problem. So let's not weigh in on that. It's not about that. It's about who's being a fucking lunatic. And there are people on the websites you frequent. I don't go on Twitch. It fucking sucks. They're frequenting your websites and they're saying death threats and they're calling CPS on people to get their kids taken away. And they're saying that we deserve 9/11, the country you live in, or benefit a lot from, depending on if you're in the United States or not. That's insane. Like, they're being lunatics. That's the problem. And we've not addressed any of that. He's not brought that up once. Cowardly. When that's been the entire reason, that was the reason Ethan said you were a fair weather friend. He didn't address what that was actually about. It was about the fact that iDubbbz, and I'm not even saying iDubbbz should have definitively. He can do whatever he wants. He's his own person. So is his wife, whatever the fuck. If you are truly a moral person, as iDubbbz he loves it. He loves to say he's so moral and he's so ethical and he's so compassionate and empathetic. If you are that person and you see that there's a hate group that's amassing on the internet to get someone that you've considered being a friend, whether it's online or not, even though you've hung out in real life many times. If you see that and you see, oh, these people that I think are good people, as he said, they're going to get their kids taken away potentially because of people on the internet fucking calling CPS on them unjustly. They don't deserve me to step in and to say, hey, don't take their kids away. Obviously, I can vouch, like, that's fucking crazy. No. Oh God, no. But dude, if they make fun of fucking what's his face, Hassan Piker, dude, like, where do the morals and ethics kick in here? I'm so fucking confused. Are you a fair weather friend or not? Look, then just take the fair weather friend tag, because the other side of the coin is that you're just standing back and not vouching for these people so they don't get their kids taken away by CPS because of internet trolls. Which one is it, dude? I think fair weather friend's actually the way better optics for you. I think maybe you just take that one and run with it and take that in stride, because the other side of the coin, not so great, not such a good look. You can't come out looking like the good guy as much in that one. But hey, let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about why Ethan brought any of that up in the first place, that he was being a fair weather friend, because it was a very serious, legitimate, real life issue that was going on because of all of this. No, let's cherry pick. Let's not address that. We've not addressed anything of substance here that actually matters in this content cop.
Something that was not illustrated in previous content cops that I think should have been, and probably wouldn't have left me with so much regret. Ethan deserves all of the criticism that he's getting. I think it's very valid. But I also think, at the end of the day, we should acknowledge that he's human, because he is human. And he is in a situation that's making him extremely scared, paranoid, defensive, sensitive, and I'm sure other features and feelings. In the spirit of Kirk saying that it looks like Ethan could just use a hug, I have challenged some of his most powerful haters to put down the haterade and just say something nice and charitable about him, because I think he deserves it.
I just wanted to say that I respect that you are genuinely yourself on the internet. I think a lot of other people respect you for it as well. I think that's a big reason why people were drawn to your content in the first place. I think that's a lot of the reason why your employees chose to work with you over anyone else.
Ethan, I think it's respectable that you even began this journey to leave behind the anti-SJW crowd and step into a more empathetic worldview. I know it's not easy.
Ethan Klein, I think that when you are being goofy, when you're being silly, when you are being lighthearted, and just having fun with your friends, I think that is when you're at your best. So I'd love to see more of that. That'd be sick.
I will be reading my letter off because I don't want to sound robotic. H3 used to be the sports for good that I used to watch. I hope that one day gets back to what I remember. You were one of the inspirations for me to start creating content, so all this has stunk. I hope you really hear this, and I wish you the best.
I think Ethan Klein rocks a buzz cut pretty good, and I think He's got a good choice of facial hair. I think it's really cool what he did 8 years ago, fighting that frivolous lawsuit. That was pretty fucked up. And fighting it, you know, he changed YouTube for the better. And I thought that was cool because I thought it was like he was fighting for free speech.
You know, I also see the dynamic of Ethan and Neil. I'm like, fuck, like, it's really hard to be a couple online and see people attacking your partner. And it's like, okay, like if you come to their defense, if that doesn't always help them, right? Sometimes that makes it worse for them.
And I have been kind of
Where's that video? Like, that's crazy, dude. Was that a little bit of, I don't know, dude. This is so weird to spend such a small amount of time doing anything substantive in this video, because this is a little more nuanced and substantive. And it is very empathetically driven. But God, iDubbbz, you gotta stop crying. Dude, you gotta stop crying. You can't keep dude.
Slipping into a very unhealthy place where it's gotten worse and worse, and I get criticized more and more, and I get more defensive and more pulled up. A feeling of almost infallibility, that I could take anything on. It led me to make a lot of mistakes. And then when I was criticized for those mistakes, then I would act extremely defensive and nasty and not really processing them in a healthy way.
And I think that can also be true, by the way. I mean, I'm not saying that Ethan doesn't have anything that he should work on. Of course he has. Everyone has things they should work on. But I'm just saying that none of the most important things were truly, really focused on or looked into with this. This video could have been 10 minutes and we would have gotten the same amount of value out of it, probably even shorter. Thanks for watching.